but the camera is sampling. So you get, that's why the Hawley adder have used the activity pattern to remove the lot of zeros, because when there is no activity pattern in front of the camera, so you get a lot of zeros, you get a zero inflated data set. That's why they have removed that interval, that the animals are not active, to reduce the zero inflated data set.
So, but that's the whole.
And then 24 hours.
But that's the whole, point of placing cameras randomly. No? Like, we assume that the cameras are randomly placed to the animal movement, and whenever the animal come in front of the camera, that is the snapshot moment which we take for our density estimation.
Exactly. There is nothing, there is no problem with the camera placement, there is nothing problem with the random. There is problem what you consider as your sampling point. In a distance sampling, every sampling point has a duration, right? You have considered it 8 seconds. Perfect. So this is a camera trap. I put this camera trap at 10. From 10 to 10:08 is a one sampling point. From 10:08 to 10:16 is a other sampling point. From 10:16 to 10:22 is a other sampling point. If I got any animal here, so it's presence. If I got no animal, it's a 0, it's a 0, it's a 0, it's a 0. Because this camera is there for 24 hours. So just look at that particular aspect. And then when you converted this, when you were comparing with our effort, you said that in line transit there were 30,000 square kilometers, whereas in camera tracking there was 56,000 square kilometers. That's not sampling effort, that's a replication. Why your replication is coming high? Because your camera trap is available for 24 hours. Why our replication is coming low? Because the person goes, walks a line transit and comes back, he is only there for 2 hours. But the camera trap is there for 24 hours. Yeah. So if you calculate this time, it becomes 56,000 square kilometers, not area. It's not sampling 50,000 square kilometers area. Your area is only 34 square kilometers. It's a replication. So it's a replicate. So you also need to correct that. So it's not a comparison of sampling area. It's a replication effort. And I will also suggest please look at this way. But whether when there are a lot of zeros, how to treat, because, and that's why, that's a reason, you know why your biologic data is not converting? No, it's because distance sampling, camera trap based distance sampling as of now only works for the species which are individual. It goes off for living species.
But we got good estimate for, the estimate was comparable for Goa also.
That's also the moment of the gore and the moment of the wild pig is totally different.
Yeah, but in our data set,
gore walks very slowly, so there's a probability if there are 2 or 3 or 4 individuals in a gore group, they will be detected. But the wild pigs run so fast, if there are 20, 25, 30 individuals, so you will have a photographs, 2 or 3 photographs, but the actual number will have been a lot more. Whereas in case of gore, that problem is not there. So it's also based on the behavior of the species. So you also just see whether that can be corrected or not.
But for wild boar, we hardly got more than 4 individuals in camera trap. Highest were 4 or 5 max to max.
Exactly, because see the problem with the wild pig is there are 2 types of detection probabilities in wild pig. One detection probability is whether you get a group. So one is the detection probability of group. Other is the detection probability of number of individuals in a group. Now you got 4 individuals in a group, but how many individuals are in that particular group? So so what detection probability you have worked with is only one detection probability. The probability of a group. You have detected 4, but how many were there actually in that group when you have detected 4? Were there 5, were there 6, were there 12? So that's a detection probability of individuals within a group. So when for a group living species, you have to tease these 2 detection probabilities. Then the estimates will come out.
My question is relating to the estimates following the 2 approaches. I want to understand that the estimates are nearly comparable across those 2 methods.
Yes.
Right? The area where you have sampled is primarily along the lower lying areas of Parquet.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I think it's too early to conclude that these estimates are comparable simply because the fact that each of these methods may actually generate different estimates if you had actually accessed more interior and
Yeah,
higher
exactly.
areas. Okay, so I think when you're drawing that conclusion, you have to be very careful. Everyone who goes to Pake, they will just walk along that Kari road and come back with these estimates. And in no way you will be able to tell if somebody wants to know what the estimate of Angul Lakes for whole of Pake. You can't use this data at all.
Yeah, so,
Your estimates when you're actually expressing that logistically it's much more feasible. It's expected that these should be placed in interior areas, areas that are not accessible.
yeah,
And estimates derived from that will give us a better picture.
true.
Right? So that part I think we need to think about when you're interpreting.
So this is for my dissertation. It is not very easy. I mean, it takes a very long time to go and deploy camera. So for my dissertation, in a short period of time, we decided to comparison in lowland. But for a longer study, we proposed to do it in the high elevation because that requires. So yeah, definitely we have to do that also.
Yeah, it was a good piece of work. I know Pake is a very tough area, and we tried to walk a lot in that landscape, and laying transects and all of that was not very easy. I imagine it wasn't for you also. So the question is that, you think the first question, we are looking at estimates from 2009 and 10 of transact data, okay, and you're comparing it to 2022. Okay. So, do you think those estimates are comparable?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's one question. Okay, that is one thing. And the other thing is, when you look at, in terms of the effort that you put, okay, the CVs of your data are quite high. I mean, they're 20%, some are 40% also. Okay, transact data shows very low CV. So, I mean, what could have contributed to your very high CV is one question. Okay, and okay, so that is one aspect. This particular thing you need to probably look into in terms of that.
So, for the first question, so I am not comparing the density estimate of the study done in 14 and with our density estimate. It was just to show, because there is no other estimate available from it. And hello, yeah, there is no other estimate available. And we proposed actually to use line transect also as one of our methods, but we couldn't do that. So just to make a difference, we used the estimate to just look at what are the density estimate, what is the difference we got. But yeah, definitely the lot of things might have changed. That's what I said, that we don't have any estimate from in between also inference that what changes have occurred in the density estimate. So yeah, that is one of the reasons that for that. And second question about the CV is that we used software ImageJ to estimate the distance. So for camera trap distance sampling, that was the reason the CV was high. And for random encounter model, we take speed into consideration, and that also results in a very high CV. So that's.
Yeah, I mean that exactly may not be the reason. That's what I'm pointing out. The CVs may be very high because of other factors.
Yeah, definitely.
So the factors what Dr. Villar has pointed out,
Yeah.
Because what he's exactly saying is that there is a question of availability of the effort, and there is a question of availability of the sample that you are sampling, the observability, availability of the subject that you are observing. That's why Howard Hall took the availability of the object that they've been observing from a certain period of time. Okay, so that needs to be considered.
Yeah.
Okay, if you consider that, you will get good estimates. Okay, maybe better than these particular ones. Certain species have different detection properties, those need to be accounted for. The next thing is, in Howard Hall's, when you use that, what did you consider as a focal angle width and the focal distance? Did you measure it for each camera, or did you
Yeah,
use manufacturers? manufactured.
Hello. Yeah. So before leaving for my field, we did a little experiments in institute to check the angle, and we got rough angle of 46 degrees and 45 degrees, and so we used that like, as a focal, and that's what I think the Cuddy bag also gives.
Because trigger speeds of cameras also differ when you deploy them in the field.
Yeah.
The distance and
Exactly.
effect also
They-
differ.
they differ.
Those have a very big role in terms of modeling of detection. Okay. And you tried Mohammed polynomial, I guess, in modeling your system. So we will try any, we will not show any different, sort of model selection parameters, whether this model perform better than that. All those things I think we should probably look at. Even hazard rate may do very well. Okay, like in that particular landscape. Okay, so those sort of aspects are somewhat maybe we can improve the estimates if you consider those particular aspects.
So let me just stop there. They also have to go for the Viva. So we have one last presentation. So let's give Tarun a round of applause. And we have a last presentation.